In case you didn't read the title of the video, this has manga spoilers in it. So read the manga, you damn nerds!
Stain is back, bitches!
The Crimson Vigilante is back with a vengeance in the New World Order, and there are a lot of possibilities centering around his return. I would argue Stain is one of the most important characters in the entire story of My Hero, because even after his incarceration, people were still talking about him and his ideology, which shaped the rest of the story as we know it. Time and time again, when discussing the politics of heroics and who is truly deserving of living, Stain's name always comes up. I made the New World Order comment beforehand because, genuinely, the world is completely flipped on its head since Stain's detainment, and I'm really curious about his thoughts on everything. Let's start with the main title of this video, his potential encounter with Toga. Going back to the Ochiko vs. Toga fight, Toga confronts her to truly test her judgment and morality, and to find the answers to all the questions that have been plaguing her brain. She wanted to know why Jean was killed and if there was even the slightest chance Toga could be accepted for who she is. Ochiko, in response, turned to retaliation, which is not what she wanted, fleeing the scene in tears, declaring her confusion is all cleared up. Now that the war is settled, she's all by herself, full of disdain for the heroes that took Jean away. The ones that cast her aside and pretty much told her to her face that she will never be accepted in society. We haven't seen her go back to the League yet, so where else should she go? Well, it just so happens that her former idol and reason for joining the League in the first place is out and about, wandering the streets of Japan to reclaim his crown. Two lost souls, driven by their own outlooks on the bloodshed of hero society, are about to cross paths. But how will it turn out? I'm going into the rest of this theory assuming that they would have a big conversation. Toga still has massive amounts of respect for Stain as far as we know, despite saying she wants to cut him up. It's her way of showing love, in her own freaky little way. So before she tries turning Stain into his namesake, I would like to see them talk about what's happened since he's been gone. So how would he feel about the recent developments? I think it's going to be a very interesting pendulum swing of tensions, because of how the League's ideals both follow and contradict his will. First of all, I'd imagine he'd be interested in just how many followers he has. Toga's basically his number 2 fangirl after all. And Spinner, of course, which would also be an interesting interaction too, now that I think about it. I mean, he literally cosplays the guy. Speaking of which, Stain would probably hate how the general public has merchandised him and treated him like he's some kind of marketable horror story. The reason he fought so hard was to let his message be known, not to turn his face into a Funko Pop. Back on topic. If Toga ends up being the first person he interacts with, hearing that she had just been outcasted because a hero had dehumanized her would probably piss him off. Even more so knowing that one of the pro-heroes murdered a villain in cold blood just to get the job done, through shady antics and fake smiles for the public, would rile him up to an insane degree. Another interesting thing I want to hear about is his thoughts on what Shigaraki did. I can't believe it's taken me 4 videos to talk about him. I am so sorry, Shiggy. Forgive me! I was rereading the Stain arc recently, and this page really caught my attention considering the current state of the story. Despite having opposing viewpoints, Stain saw the potential in Shigaraki's conviction, stating that he wanted to see what seed it would yield. Now, Stain is literally seeing what that blossomed into in the present day. Some things line up, while others contradict. He probably has massive respect for the guy after finding out he has grown into such a competent leader. He knew Shigaraki at the beginning of the story, who at that point was a chaotic man-child. Now he sees Shiggy put all of that behind him to find a truly meaningful goal. Plus, now that Endeavor, one of the people he hated the most, got straight up cancelled for being the fake that he deemed him as, he would be overjoyed that these fakes are falling one by one. Seeing all the fakes shut down their hero agencies and give up on the cause would make it easier to show who the real heroes are, while also letting him know all the people that are unworthy. In a way, it would make him both glad and extremely pissed. However, looking at all the destruction around him is a different matter. As far as we know, Stain isn't one for hurting innocent people. Senseless violence isn't his thing. He only enacts his justice on the people he deems corrupt. We can pretty much imply from this panel that he despises All for One for that very reason, in addition to putting All Might, the one true hero in his eyes, out of commission. With all of this in mind, Stain got his wish, but at what cost? The heroes that were only in it for the fame and glory are all gone, but the populace of citizens that the real heroes strive to save have plundered drastically. Instead of a reformed hero society, now there's practically no hero society. Shifting to Toga's side of the equation, I think what it's going to come down to is seeing Stain look down upon some of the things the League did, and Toga's going to choose her family first, leading to a fight between the two, which would be so badass to see. I think it would really hammer home Toga's development, and also show how dedicated she is to the League. She came into this initially just wanting to cut people and carry out Stain's wish, but now she has a place where she can feel accepted, her own family, and she wants justice for the person at the heart of that family. Twice. Still the saddest death in the series, by the way. Like, Night Eye is close and all, but just seeing him try so hard only to be silenced in Toga's arms is the saddest shit in the world. Well, that's about it for this one. It's more on the shorter side of things since there isn't that much to talk about in terms of speculation. I just think the fact that both Toga and Stain were deliberately separated from their groups just wandering out in the open, when they themselves are both so tied together as characters, would lead to some great interactions and really put the state of the world in perspective. Once again, massive thank yous to everyone who has taken the time to follow the channel and comment and share their own theories. You guys have some really creative ideas yourselves, and reading through all of them has been great. There's been so much support on the latest theory video with Kaminari, like, holy crap, I think we broke 10k views, if I'm not mistaken. It might be more by the time this is uploaded, so just wow. Speaking of that, by the way, I did read that some people pointed out that Kaminari was the one with all the blankets on his face in school briefs, and Ito was the one that was out looking for his glasses. I haven't actually looked at school briefs, so I didn't know that, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. That is a knock against the theory, but hey, you know, that's what theories are. They're just ideas spewing out into the open, but I'm glad a lot of people seem to be enjoying it. If you want to catch up with me outside of the channel, I have a Twitter as well. I usually don't want to plug something so blatantly, but I want to use the Twitter to just talk more with you guys and share different ideas. I'm planning on doing some non-theory My Hero videos in the future as well, so look forward to that. Until then, see ya. Oh, before I forget, the Season 5 trailer is banging and the OP slaps!